Word Mafia.
Gonna stay here in Crazy Town or help me rescue the geek?
Why do you keep looking at me?
You want to talk to the immortal or talk to the scientist about how to get us out of the situation?
The immortal. I know he's like, I'm not going to remember this conversation because it's the 50s and I never met you yet. You're like a baby? Has Locke even been born yet? He has, right?
Hmm? You can't really expect me to believe that you, a British woman, and a Chinese man are all members of the United States military.
You wanna know who I am? I'm your best chance at disarming that bomb.
Right then. Disarm it.
Cool.
It's just hanging there, you know?
Just hanging there.
Ooh. He's like, oh shit.
Back up.
What?
Get back, get back. It's unsafe, we need to move.
I swear, if you try anything.
If I try anything, what? You're gonna shoot me. Is that right? Yeah, that would be perfect. Because, of course, rifle fire. Right next to, what would you call this? Hydrogen bomb. Yes, fantastic.
Hydrogen's very flammable.
Inspired.
Really inspired.
Do you people have any access to lead or concrete?
For what?
There's a crack in the casing. It needs to be filled with lead. You need to take it off this platform carefully and bury it.
Told Albert you could disarm that thing.
You don't need to worry. You do what I say, you bury it, it won't go off.
How'd you know that?
Because 50 years from now, this island is still here. There.
What did you just say?
It's hard to explain. 50 years from now, me and my friends, that's where we're from, okay? And here's the key. Everything's fine. There hasn't been any atomic blast, all right? Drop your gun, Blondie.
Why don't we all put our guns down?
He's like, well, I can't fire now.
You too.
You told her?
So it's like, what the hell, man?
What is going on? There's a bomb. You're telling people. Oh.
I know you have questions. I'm not going to answer them. I've come here to ask you something.
All that.
I need to know where I can find Daniel Faraday's mother.
What makes you think I would even know the answer to that?
I mean, you found...
Before you put Faraday on your little boat and sent him off to the island, you spent 10 years funding his research.
Desmond, I haven't seen or heard from my daughter for 3 years. Just answer me this.
I mean, whose fault is that?
Is she safe?
He's worried about Ben.
Where's Faraday's mother?
I mean, he did say he wasn't going to answer any questions.
He just wants to know if she's alive because...
She's in Los Angeles.
Oh, of course she is. Everyone is.
It's a big city.
Deliver your message, then get out of this mess. Don't put Penny's life in danger. You're getting yourself involved in something that goes back many, many years. It has nothing to do with you or my daughter. Wherever you were hiding, go back there.
Just walks
I'm
in.
looking for Richard. Don't move. Richard, I need to talk to you. Enough. That's enough. Who are you? My name is John Locke.
He's like, I just saw you.
Supposed to mean something to me?
Oh, he's not born yet. Maybe.
Jacob sent me. Put the gun down. What? I said, put the gun down, Widmore.
Hmm.
Your name is Widmore? Charles Widmore? What's it to you?
Hmm.
Nothing. Nice to meet you.
The fuck? What is happening in this series right now? So, Penny's dad
Used to be another in the 50s.
used to be another,
That's how we knew about the
but
island.
he's not there anymore. Wait, but you said he's the leader of them now?
I didn't say that. I said he used to be another back in the 50s.
No, but then earlier when you said the boy that, like, why didn't, when Sawyer was about to shoot him and he's like, why didn't you shoot? He asked John and you were like...
Oh, yeah, because Locke is the leader of the others in his time.
Oh, Locke. I thought you were talking about the boy who...
No.
ran off.
Locke is the leader of the others.
Okay.
Ben made him the new leader.
Yeah,
before,
okay, yeah.
For all the time travel.
Yeah, I know that.
This was a mistake. I made a promise you this would be done on a date, and now it's done.
And what happens if you wake up tomorrow and you remember something else?
Then I'll forget it.
And the next day?
I'll forget it. It doesn't matter, Pen. You're my life now. You and Charlie.
Aww.
I won't leave you again.
So I guess we're going with you.
Please, I swear to God, if they break up. gonna be so
They
pissed.
named him Charlie.
I know. How sweet.
And why don't I remember any of this?
Because it hasn't happened yet. I expect you to tell me how to get off the island.
That's very privileged information. Why would I share that with you?
Because you told me that I had something very important to do once I get there. And because I'm your leader.
You're my leader.
That's what you told me.
Well, look, I certainly don't want to contradict myself, but we have a very specific process for selecting our leadership, and it starts at a very, very young age.
I mean,
What year is it right now?
they did try.
It's 1954.
Ah. He's like, I'm not
All
going
right. May 30th, 1956. 2 years from now, that's the day I'm born. Tustin, California. And if you don't believe me, I suggest you come and visit me.
to. That's why he visited Locke? Oh my god.
It's about to happen again. Please tell me!
Ah.
Oh, there's the others over there. So what did Richard just see? Does Richard believe now that...
Well, I mean, he did go visit Locke.
Yeah.
So,
And he tested him, too, when he was a kid.
yep. To see if he was a leader. But I guess no. Because... Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Charlotte! Charlotte!
I mean, to be fair, he just kept saying, like, nothing will happen to you. And then, like, he didn't really do anything to save.
Yeah.
He just kept telling her it's fine.
All right, that was Jughead. What'd you think?
I mean, just a little bit of lore, you know. Just like Charles was there, I guess. It makes sense that he knows where the island is. The question is, like, yeah, how did he get off? And also, why is he trying to find Ben? Like, what's that about? What is their feud about, basically?
Yeah.
Because he's saying it goes back, like, a long time.
Well, when he was in the Ben Widmore meeting in his bedroom, he was saying, you know, the island always belonged to me. You know, you took everything you have, you took from me. I'm going to get it back. And they're like, the race is on then. What will happen first? Will you find the island or will I find your daughter? Which will happen first?
Yeah.
That's kind of where we left their feud. And we know Ben finding Desmond and all that is pretty early on because he jumped forward from December 2004 to October 2005 when he turned the wheel. And that's when he found Saeed. Mm-hmm. So shortly after that, he finds Widmore. And they have their little, like, back and forth. So it's been a few years when Widmore has not seen his daughter, so wondering, is she even alive? I don't like. I think I would know because I think Ben would tell me, but
Yeah.
other than that, I have no idea. He doesn't even know he's a grandfather.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, granted, you know, he did try to kill everyone on the island, so Desmond probably doesn't care about him.
Yeah, no, lucky for them, they're so scared of him that they're in deep hiding when. Widmore would never do anything to hurt Penny.
Yeah, that's probably why he's just leaving it alone.
Yeah, he's like, good, they're hiding where I can't even find them.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Yeah, just go back.
Go back to wherever you're hiding.
I don't know where you're at. Just keep hiding.
And they just live on a boat and they're just kind of traveling the world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though that like he was trying to kill everyone on the island though, even though he's from the island.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to me.
Well, so was he always going to kill everyone, or was that just what Ben was telling everyone? To get them on his side, saying Widmore's going to kill everybody.
No, because even like the scientist people were like, we weren't on a rescue mission. We were like, they were there to like, if they got in the way, then to kill them. But like,
because Kimi and his men did have like their own separate set of plans,
Yeah.
but we never got confirmation of what exactly those were. We know Kimi went off the deep end, but he just went insane.
Yeah.
And started doing things like his own way. So we can't say with 100% certainty that Widmore actually wanted to kill everyone.
Yeah, maybe it was just like really vague instructions, like do what you need to do to.
The important thing is get Ben. And Ben was telling everyone Widmore's going to kill everybody, and so that's what everyone believed. And so whenever they did kill people, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
we don't know exactly.
Yeah, honestly, actually, that's a good point because I don't think he wanted. Yeah, actually, I don't think.
I don't think Widmore would kill Richard or the others.
No, I think he probably just told Kimi to be like, do what you need to do to get Ben, or like do whatever you need to do for this specific mission. I don't care what you do, just get it done. And Kimi probably just took it to, obviously he took it to the extreme, right? Yeah. But or
Widmore would totally be. Yeah. They're all. We don't know why he was kicked off the island, but he probably like, screw everybody. I'm gonna start from scratch, kill everyone. Like Richard didn't have my back or whatever. Yeah, like if, Richard seems to have some kind of level of authority, and he does. And Widmore's no longer on the island. So what did happen between him and the others?
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
So either way, it's plausible.
But even though, and like even that, but like he got off the island somehow, which is like, how did he get off the island?
Yeah.
And then like, wait, so but Ben
got off the island because he spun the wheel.
No, not off the island. I mean like when Ben first got there with the Dharma Initiative. So like, because if he was there with Dharma and the Dharma Initiative was like in the 70s, so that's like a whole 20 years. So like, Widmore.
How old would you say Widmore was in the 50s there?
He looks like a teenager, or like a very young adult.
I'd say 18. 18 to 22.
Yeah, he looks very young. Yeah. So I would say like 18, maybe. Because like he looks like, I mean, if it's been like 20 years to when Ben got there, right? And their whole feud is between them two. Yeah, maybe then like. Actually, that makes sense because if it's like 20 years, so he's like around 40 by the time Ben gets there.
When Ben gets there, he's like 10 to 12.
Yeah. So, but then, and then if we fast forward to now, he clearly looks like an older gentleman. So like,
now he's in his 40s.
No, he looks like he's in his 60s or.
No, I'm talking about Ben.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We know Ben is in his 40s. So like, maybe there's like about a 20-year difference between them. Or maybe actually 40 maybe, huh? But then that means Widmore's like 80 something. Which I guess could be plausible.
He is an other,
But it doesn't seem like, it only seems like Richard is the only one that doesn't age.
Yeah, but he spent a lot of years on the island, so he's like in good health whenever he actually leaves. We don't know.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm like.
He could have left 3 years ago or something, Like, we don't know.
No, because Penny.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Penny.
So, and Penny's like in her 30s probably, like same age as Desmond. So like, if she's in her 30s, that means he has to have been off the island at least 30 years. So
sure.
And say he's like 70.
So around the time
40.
Ben got to the island.
Yeah, that means he had to have left around the time.
There has to be overlap because they know each other.
Yes, that's why I'm like, at some point they have to meet.
So when does that happen?
I'm like, how old was he? Like, how old is Widmore? Is he like in his 80s? Like, or like he's 80 years old? I mean, I guess
if he was 18 so that was 1954.
Yeah.
And present day, island show starts when we first see Widmore 2004, let's say.
Yeah.
Give or take. We actually see him 3 years before that and 3 years after that. But we'll just say.
So that means.
So 50 plus 18, he's like 68. So late 60s, early 70s. Which I believe. I can believe that.
So he's like 68 in 2004.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, it's close 70, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm just like, that's crazy. I don't know. I'm still like wondering what their whole feud is. Like what happened between the two.
So yeah, this episode has an interesting structure where it's a Desmond and a Daniel Faraday episode.
They are each other's constants.
It's present day. It's Desmond, and we flash back to Daniel and everybody time traveling on the island. Plus a flashback at the beginning of the birth of Charlie Hume.
I mean, yeah, like Desmond is Daniel's constant, which so it makes sense that they're showing both of them.
Yeah. It's also kind of a follow-up to The Constant, where we see what happened to Dan after that.
To who?
Dan.
Dan was...
Daniel Faraday.
What do you...
Well, so he kept doing time travel stuff. He did some experiment that messed up some girl, and then he disappeared. And his research the entire time, when Desmond was talking with Daniel in 1996 at Oxford, all that was funded by Widmore.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah.
That's a crazy coincidence, huh?
I mean, I'm not surprised anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's legit time travel. Like, it's not just crazy, like, mad scientist stuff. Like, Daniel Faraday was mostly right.
About?
Time travel.
Oh, yeah.
And if Widmore is, like, a shrewd, brilliant business guy like he was, he would have seen, like, yeah, I'm investing in this dude who's like, legit. But, yeah, I guess...
Actually, then, if he was trying to go back in time to change whatever happened between Ben and him, or something that whatever happened on the island between Ben and Charles, or whatever, maybe not even them, maybe whatever the event was, like, it makes sense that if he's trying to change things, he would fund someone who's like researching time travel.
Well, Faraday was using some kind of radiation
Yeah.
to trigger, to unstick things in time. And we know that same energy can be found on the island. So maybe Widmore was hoping for a connection between the two.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, his lab assistant was that woman, the blonde-haired woman in the picture. And something happened, and now she's lives in a bed, and every now and then she wakes up as herself at a different point in time. So
I'm surprised she's not dead.
Yeah, well, all the machines are keeping her alive, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So for her, because like we established, the effects of this radiation is different for everybody.
Oh, that's true.
So for her,
she's
different points of her past self get pulled to the present. So it's not like Desmond where it's the same consciousness going back and forth. It's a different. Her as a little girl, her from 5 years ago,
and it's being pulled to now.
Yeah.
Damn. That must suck.
Yeah, because at a certain point, it's just you in bed again. Like, depending on how long she lives, the odds are greater that she's just going to be her post-accident being pulled to the future and like, oh, great. But again, how would she, if there's no mirror in the room, if she's always on the bed, how would she know when she, it's all the same. It all blurs together. And yeah, it doesn't seem great.
No.
It doesn't seem great. And Dan just left.
Yikes.
Yeah, not a good look for him.
No. But he was always kind of shady, to begin with.
He seems like an innocent guy, but he also but back then he did seem a lot more like whatever it takes to do, like, I don't really care about Desmond as a person. I just care about the info he can give me about time travel. He was very cavalier and didn't seem to care that Desmond was probably going to die. He's like, no, you're here to help me. Like, I'm supposed to help you? Like, that doesn't compute. Me helping you. And only until Desmond, like, uses violence, like, what is going to happen to me? He's like, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, he seems like I said, like, even with Charlotte, right? I think he's just, like, very manipulative. He doesn't... He acts like he's a nice guy. And I think he thinks he is. But... yeah, he's pretty manipulative. Especially, like, because he has all of the information. And he's the only one that kind of knows what's going on, but he, like, does not really share unless he wants to. And then, like, even with Charlotte, right? It was, like, he kept telling her, like, he clearly knows what's happening to her. And he kept telling her, like, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. And she knew that he knew what was happening. She just didn't push it. So it's like, he just kind of let her die. Or, like, let her keep going, even though like.
Well, what?
I mean,
there's nothing he could do, and what would knowing change? I guess is what he's thinking. Like, okay, I tell her that exactly what's happening to her. That changes nothing.
I mean, it could change what she wants to do with her own life.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I'm just saying that's probably what he's thinking. Like,
I understand, but like I said, it's still emotionally manipulative because he's not giving her a choice.
I will say,
also, like, she asked like multiple times, like, what's happening to me, and he's like,
nothing's gonna happen to you. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's like he took on all that responsibility. Like he knew what was happening, and like didn't do anything about it. Like he just kind of ignored it.
Daniel does seem more coherent, more lucid this season than last season. Like when he first got down, he was like, "Oh, I can't remember 3 cars," but now he's like more like like his old self. And I think maybe some of his old tendencies are kind of creeping back in now that he's like more balanced on the island. Yeah,
it's possible, and also like. They're in a survival situation.
That too. So. It's like, time to sober up.
Yeah,
like we're traveling through time and it's bad.
And he's the only one that kind of knows what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the Desmond stuff, which is like, don't worry, your dad Widmore will never know I'm here. Barges into his office. You're gonna tell me, and then you're gonna leave me alone, and I'm gonna answer no questions from you. I love that they named their son Charlie. It's unfortunate that Charles Widmore is their grandfather. Is the grandfather, but he's not named after him. No. He's named after Charlie.
Yeah, his name is Charlie, not Charles. Okay.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised. That's
it's not a nickname.
It's literally his name is Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Charles.
Like it's not a nickname.
Yeah. Charlie Hume.
It's unfortunate.
I know. It's like, of course they have the same name, and of course they would want to name him after the guy who brought them together. You know, after all these years. If it was not for Charlie, they would not be able to contact each other. Like, Penny would never have found Desmond's location, and the Oceanic 6 would have died in the middle of nowhere. But the flashback, technically, this episode was the 54. We see that Charles Widmore was another on the island. We see Richard again.
It's not really a flashback, is it, though? Because they're living it.
They're living it, but it's them... right after season 4, season 4. So technically, it's 3 years ago.
Who's them?
Everyone who stayed behind. For the Oceanic 6, it's like 3 years later, but for them, all that just happened. It's like been a day.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, it's not really.
And they do the flashback noise when they cut between the two. Technically, the only flashback is Desmond. Finding a doctor.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll just call it back to the island.
Because, I think we established this. We're like, it's not really a flashback. Because for them, it's not... It's happening to them in real time.
Yes, but it is also in the 50s. This entire episode has been the 50s.
Yeah, I understand that.
But
it's not really a flashback.
Sure. I will say, then, back on the island, we see... we see Widmore. We meet Richard again. We find out why Richard was... popping in and out of Locke's life without him knowing, because he told him, "I am special. I'm your leader. Find out for yourself."
But it's interesting that like Richard, like knowing that information now, and then like Richard was like, "Never mind." Like when Locke, well, I guess to be fair, Locke did lie when he was young. He chose something that he didn't actually own.
Well, I don't think he knew what he already owned. It was kind of like that. The compass. Okay.
Well, no, because like remember as a kid, he like you saw him.
Yeah, he had a table and he put a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah. But you see Locke kind of thinking like, I'm pretty sure it's this, but he chooses something. Like you see him deliberately choose something else, and then Richard goes, "Oh, never mind." Basically. So
the compass that Richard gives Locke gave back to Richard in the 50s, was one of the items on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked him, which one of these things belongs to you already? And he didn't pick the compass. He picked the knife. I don't even think he picked up the compass. I think maybe he looked at it very briefly. Because there was
that's what I mean.
There was a comic, there was a thing.
But then there was a scene of him, like, he was going to choose something that was his. Like, you could tell. And then he deliberately chooses something else.
No, I think he just picks the knife because he always liked knives.
No, there was a moment, I remember this, because, like, I was like, Like, you could see in Locke's eyes, he's going to choose something, and then he chooses something else, and then Richard's just like, never mind, this was a mistake, and then he leaves. Right?
But the thing wasn't a compass, though. The compass was the thing he was supposed to pick up.
Yeah, no.
He was nowhere near it.
No, that's what I mean. He didn't choose the thing that was his, but he was going to, I think. Like, you could see, like, I remember
I don't know. I've seen the episode a few times. I don't know if
or maybe you just didn't see
Sure,
the cue.
but it was...
Because, like...
The compass was just a random thing on the table at the time that they retroactively made important. I don't think it was...
No, they didn't specifically say you need to choose this. It was just out of these things. And
I know. But the thing, like, he picked up the compass and put it down, and then he was like, this, and the scene you're talking about was like something else. It wasn't the compass. That doesn't matter. We're moving on.
Well, to me...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're done talking about this.
No, but it does matter.
We spent so much time on this.
It does matter because it shows Richard going back, and it actually does prove that Locke really was the leader. He just, like, deliberately chose the wrong instrument.
He didn't deliberately choose the wrong thing. He chose the knife because that's what he thought was the
when I
coolest
say
thing.
deliberately, I mean, like, he had an idea of what it was, but decided to choose something else. But not knowing why, obviously, because Richard did not tell him what it was for, what the test was for, right? Except for you're special. But, like...
Okay, fine.
Because then, like, I'm not making this up. Like, either we just interpreted it differently, which does matter in this case, because then... It shows that lot, like, it shows a lot about his character, even when he's young. Anyway.
So yeah.
That's how I interpreted it, because there was, yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the compass, he disappears. Jughead was a bomb.
Uh-huh.
What else was important? He says that Ellie, the girl with the gun, reminded him, looked so much like someone else. And as we can see in the picture, she kind of looks like the lab assistant who he ruined, whose life he ruined. So I guess he was just kind of like a very thin and not very strong connection between the Desmond story and this story, which is this girl kind of looks like the girl from the other story that's happening here in 53 years.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really see it.
Yeah.
Except for they both had blonde hair.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
They didn't look anything alike other than the blonde hair.
If you have face blindness, they do.
I don't, though.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I can see the difference between faces.
Okay. I mean, I can't, but good for you.
Okay.
Remember, I thought Sean Bean was on this show.
I don't know Sean Bean.
Turned out it was just a guy who I think looks identical. But that's an old thing. Charlotte, not looking good for her.
I mean, Daniel just kind of left her.
And also,
so
is there any other... So there were like 20 people living on that beach at the beginning of the season, right? Because 20 so of them went with Locke, and then we're all killed by the mercenaries. So the 20 that were remaining, are they just all gone now? Is this all that's left?
I don't know.
Just Sawyer, Locke, Juliet, Dan, Charlotte, and Miles.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Rose and Bernard are somewhere.
I think that the only other named characters that's still on the island that were time traveling.
I don't know.
I think so. But yeah, they were like, all right, time to get rid of all these extras because we're not using them.
Characters.
Yeah, too many. So yeah, everyone's dead now. Everyone from the plane is dead except for Sawyer, Locke, and maybe Rose and Bernard.
I don't think they're dead. I think they would have showed us them. I think they would have showed us them dying. Because it's not like they're just like random no-name characters.
That's true. Ugh. Okay, so Desmond is on his way to LA. to find Faraday's mom. That's where LA is where everyone else is. Son has business in LA, which involves a gun. Jack and Ben are trying to get everybody together. Saeed is in LA because he was trying to rescue Hurley. Hurley's in jail. And Kate and Aaron just live in LA now. So, yeah. And Ben has, 72 hours? Or he had 72 hours to bring everyone together. But that was like a day ago, so it's less than that now. Because he's like, I lost Reyes tonight. Like, he's in jail. How am I supposed to bring everyone together at this point? And just like, you gotta.
But also, it's still unclear whether Desmond needs to go back.
Yes, because he did leave the island, but he wasn't on the plane. We know Locke has to go back, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
So.
And Aaron.
Because he was
born on
the island, but Claire was pregnant with him, and he left the island. So, is it more important that they arrived together or that they left together? I guess is the question, or is it equally important?
Probably both.
If it is both, then Desmond will have to probably go back.
I mean, that's what it seems like they're alluding to.
Yeah, they're kind of Penny's like, promise me you'll never go back. Like, why would I go back?
They're gonna be, like obviously that's gonna be fucking drama later.
Well, like this whole dream memory thing you have involves the island, the thing that has ruined our lives. Yeah, I think it's fair to be worried that something's gonna happen involving the island.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like that's the farthest thing for him. Like, I'm never going back, so that's not even an issue.
That's why I'm saying obviously that's gonna be drama later on.
That might not be up to you, Desmond.
I mean, he might be forced. Yeah, he could be forced back. We don't know.
Like, yeah, if probability can change around Hurley to do certain things, then stuff can change around Desmond to bring him back to the island. You know.
And it's just Ben. Like,
Ben could just dart him and drag him.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. He could just force Desmond to go with him, which isn't even going. He's just being kidnapped at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it seems like just based on that dialogue that Desmond's going to choose to go back, and that's going to be like a huge drama, which I don't want to witness.
Yeah. Well, that was Jughead. What did y'all think? Let us know in the comments below. I personally really like this episode. I don't think it's definitely not the strongest Desmond episode, but it's not his weakest either. And the fact that he's sharing it with Dan is an interesting change. Because they got to come up with some way to to change it up and also keep their multiple ongoing storylines relevant, where it's like, okay, we can't just focus entirely on the island or entirely off the island. We got to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
So now it's like one flashback in the beginning and then back and forth for the rest of the episode. That's how the Hurley one was, where it's a flashback of Hurley being mad at everybody for lying, and then him off the island and everyone on the it's kind of the ongoing framework they're going with. But a question for the audience. I want to say Cabin Fever was the Locke episode.
With Jacob? Where he sees Claire? Which one?
The episode where we see Locke be born and he does the test with Richard. When you watch that episode, how did you interpret it? Kristine's way or my way? Let us know in the comments below. And maybe you guys can figure it out. I kind of want to rewatch the episode now.
Or just that scene.
Just that scene, really, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
I mean, you could pull it up.